Greetings, everyone. DFG here, Gideon's Flight. Hey, guys. I just want to share just a quick message with you. Um, and this is just something that I saw in the Wall Street Journal. So my Hebrew Israelite, family, particularly, I'm speaking to you. And this is in regards to the United States Army recruiting tactics. It is being stated that they missed their target this last year by something like, I don't know, 7,000 people trying to recruit our young men and our young women into the military. And it's interesting, because if you guys know our history, if you know anything about our history, Hebrew Israelites have always fought in this country's wars. Not wars we started, but wars that we were grafted into and forced to fight, on the side of, quite frankly, enemies. And why do I call them enemies? Because there were many battles throughout the history of this country that, although we were on the side that we had chosen or who had chosen us, the white soldiers were actually turning around and shooting us when they had every opportunity to as well. Not all the time, but this is documented history. You go back and you look. They back then. I'll give you an example, a couple of examples. During the Civil War, one of the things that happened in the Civil War, if you were a Union soldier and you were fighting for the preservation of the Union, claimed that it was for to abolish slavery. That was not the reason for the battle. But anyway, the laws of the land, especially in the southern parts of the states, that if you were a soldier in a Union uniform, you weren't taken as a prisoner of war. You were killed. That was the consequence of you fighting in war. A white soldier had been taken as a prisoner. He was taking place in a prison camp. So for you white guys who want to talk, smack, that's the facts. So don't tell me nothing about I'm over exaggerating a damn thing when you know for a fact that if your ancestors had gotten captured and they were a Union soldier, they got put into prison camps. If my ancestors who were fighting for the Union got captured, they were killed. There was an automatic death sentence to them. And then you look at World War I. Returning soldiers from World War I, African American so-called Hebrew Israelite soldiers, attacked in many cases, lynched in many cases because they came back in their uniforms feeling some sense of pride because they had fought on behalf of America and were slaughtered in many, many cases, many instances. Then you come into World War II, fought again. While we were over in Germany and France fighting for this country, our people here in the early 40s getting hung, burned, slaughtered, or terrorized by the Ku Klux Klan. Then when we come back home, instead of us taking advantage of the GI Bill that was set in place for soldiers who went out to sacrifice their lives, left their families, we came back home, we couldn't get GI Bill, benefits. White soldiers, they got those benefits. Most black soldiers did not get the benefits. Therefore, when you look at this financial economic gap that exists today, it was largely due because our soldiers were not able to get loans, low interest loans for homes, get free education, other benefits for fighting in the war. Whereas white soldiers, they got the loans, they got the free education, they got the free trades. Therefore, it gave them a big jump with the baby boomers over our people. Facts. Vietnam, same thing. Our people fighting in Vietnam, men fighting in Vietnam, yet out in the streets in Chicago, Detroit, New Orleans, their brothers and sisters getting shot down dead in the street just for standing up for themselves and saying they were tired of police violence and tired of being treated as second-class citizens. All the time we're fighting and supporting this country in wars. And now they're about to go into who knows what next in terms of the dangers out and abroad. And now they're coming and recruiting us again. And now the status is, this is the Army's plan of action. To literally get demographics, get people who look like you and I to go into our communities and recruit our children to go and fight again for a country who doesn't even feel that we're worth reparations for everything that we've already given to this country, including our blood. Yes, when we ask for reparations, for restoration, for all GI Bill, as you heard me talk about, Jim Crow laws, you've heard me talk about, black codes, you heard me talk about, vagrant laws, pig laws, enforced slavery. You can go on and on and on. And all we ask for is for reparation, restitution, to be made whole. You know what they said? Hell no, we're not giving y'all anything. And this is coming from the whites, not only the white government, but this is coming from white neighbors, your neighbors, the guys you see at the gym, the guys you see in the supermarkets, the guys some of you are working side by side with. Ask them. Say, how do you feel about reparations for American descendants of slaves? And see what they say. They'll give you that blank stare. Or there's some of them lie and say, well, I don't care what they do. But that's a lie. Because if they really were for justice for us in terms of reparations and giving us a fair share, a fair shot, giving us what's justly ours, due ours, they would gladly say, oh yeah, not only that, but I'm going to be voting. And I've already talked to my congresswoman or my congressman. I already talked to the mayor, the council people. I already told them, if you don't start petitioning, the federal government to give reparations to you, to the people, the African American descendants of slaves, or the American descendants of slaves, whatever way you want to address us. We know we're Hebrew Israelites. But they're not doing that. They're not doing that because their silence is their compliance. And now again, recruiting. And now they're going to have wolf in sheep's clothing. So I would tell any of you guys, if you tell your children, if these recruiters come into their schools, these recruiters come into the gyms where they're playing ball or any other kind of activities, coming anywhere to playgrounds, you tell your children you tell them to get the hell out of your face. Tell the military, hey, go back and you tell Trump and the rest of his administration, and go back and tell Pelosi and the rest of those people up there in Congress, what's his name? The idiot from Kentucky, the one who said, that was the past long time. Mitch McConnell, you go tell them to go tell those jokes. You tell those recruiters, you go up there and you tell those people to send some reparations down here, make us whole, give us the $22 trillion that's owed, and then we'll consider fighting for you again. But until then, we are not shedding another blood, an ounce of blood, an inch of blood, a scratch of blood for this country. We've given enough and got nothing back in return. And as I stated, all these wars we fought, slaughtered, died, mercifully by the hands of America's enemies and by the hands of white Americans. And all for what? To be looked down, despised, disrespected, and still, 2019, being told we're due and owed nothing. Okay, fine, we're owed nothing, then you fight your own damn wars. Send your white boys and girls, let them go fight. They don't mind. You don't mind them dying for the country, right? You don't mind. You don't mind your daughters dying for the country. You don't mind your sons dying for the country. So we're going to set it out. We're going to set it out and we'll let y'all do your fighting, and we'll just keep out here working and grinding and trying to figure out a way to make ends meet, since obviously you guys have no intention to making things even and balanced for us. So far as I'm concerned, you take the military, the Army, Air Force, National Guards, the Coast Guard, Marines, the Space Force, whatever the hell you guys got. You can take that shit and you go right on out there and die. Die for America. Because we done all the dying we're going to do until we start getting some reparations. And again, guys, I want to remind you, no reparations, no vote. Don't even waste your time watching debates. Just say, hey, whatever y'all figure out, go figure it out. Trump wins again, he wins again. How is it going to be any different than what we've already had? Right? So I just thought I'd just throw that out there. The main thing is they're coming out there. They're in your communities. They're in your neighborhoods. Hispanics, so-called African Americans. What other minorities that you ought to be looking out for? Probably, really, those are the two major groups. Because those are the ones that get easily duped. They'll go in and tell you, the Army has all kind of opportunity. They can send you to school. School for what? We've had 12 years of school. If you got to 12th grade, what more schooling do you need to be able to make a living when they're not going to, again, look at it from an economic perspective. We're already at the bottom of it. For all the things we've done, those are lies, telling you they're going to send you to school, and when you get out of school, those are the same promises they made to your ancestors. You know what they got? Ropes around their necks, set on fire, disrespected, terrorized, ran out of cities, ran out of towns, looked up, down on, pushed into ghettos, into projects, pausing in the water, pausing in the food, pausing in the air, etc. So that's the reward for sacrificing and letting our children die. So no more dying for us. We'll let Yahweh guide us, and we'll let Yahweh watch over us. Maybe one day, they'll come to their senses, America. But if they don't, no reparations, no vote, no reparations, no military support from us. Go fight you started the damn wars. They were saying rich men start wars, poor men fight them. Well, obviously we're not the rich men. So your ancestors or your fathers and your mayors and your congressmen, your rich relatives, those who benefited from all the benefits that we couldn't benefit from, then let their children go out there and fight. Because after all, they should be willing to die for everything that they've been able to take advantage of. But again, as Joshua said, one of my favorite, you guys know it. As for me and my house, we're going to set it out. We're gonna ride this one out. So just something I want you to remind you of, and be on the lookout. Again, tell your children if recruiters are coming to them, because they're sending them, you're going to send the Spanish to the Spanish, the Puerto Ricans to the Puerto Ricans, the so-called blacks to the so-called. That's what they're going to send out there. And with all these lies and deception and manipulation, only to get them to go out and die for a country that does not even give a damn enough about them to even pay a debt that's been owed to not only to us, but all of our ancestors as well. All right? Thank you guys for listening. DFG. Talk to you soon. Bye now.